Adikeshav Prabhu has been practicing as a dermatologist since the last 36 years. He has been associated with the Bhaktivedanta Hospital, the famous Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai. And he was also serving as a medical coordinator along with dermatologist over there. He retired in 2017, and since then, he, along with his wife, Premlila Mataji, have devoted all of their time to be serving in Maharaj's, Radhanath Maharaj's project, which is very close to his heart, the Govardhan Eco Village in Vada. Along with all of this, they both have served as members of the Marriage Board Committee of ISKCON Chowpatty for many, many years, and they have helped many young couples to get married. And after being married, they've also served as marriage counselors, assisting newly married young couples to resolve issues with their relationships. Prem Leela Mataji is presently the service coordinator in the Govardhan English Medium Home School, and Adikeshav Prabhu is serving as a medical health coordinator for the community at Govardhan Eco Village. So they have been dedicated serving the ISKCON community for their entire lives, and they continue to do so. So we are very, very thankful. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji, for taking out the time, being with us today, and guiding all of us with this very important topic of how to carry on our marriages smoothly. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. We can get started. We would just like to inform you all that there are so many people eager to hear from you about this topic that uh, the Zoom meeting has become full already with members, and there are more people also listening on YouTube. So, as I'm sure everyone is eager to get started and listen, we can get started whenever you all are ready. Um, you're mute, Prabhuji. We can't hear you.
Just hold on. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, we can now hear, Prabhuji.
Oh, so thank you very much for inviting me and Premlila for this. It's a great honor and privilege for both of us to associate with. We unfortunately we don't know many of you. I don't know. Maybe by face, if I see, I recognize. Um, but I hope you all are keeping good health, especially during this difficult time. And my prayers and best wishes to all of you that you please keep good health. And today's topic, of course, one sense marriage and saving marriage and all these things are too familiar now. But the title, what we have selected or we have been told to speak is skills. So which usually we don't discuss much, but it is very valuable. So before I tell Prem Lila to start, because the whole subject will be more on skills, but just to sensitize that the concept about save, how it has come, because this has become a norm now, that relations are becoming very not very stable. So just to revise it, like, of course, there are many reasons. One of the main reason is as time has progressed, there is rapid. Our lifestyle has become too materialistic. So when it becomes materialistic, it becomes very self-centered. So naturally, values get diminished, and the young generations, they don't get a chance to see the older, like joint families, where they see their seniors, how they live their life and all. Not only that, one of the most important thing is there is a confidence and what it was there before of an dependence or commitment or the sacredness of a relationship or marriage, which is not because it is accepted as a norm that if it doesn't work you can stay separately and take care of yourself. So that is becoming a norm. So all these things are the reasons where this issue comes about. Marriage is not stable, and no doubt as we become more and more materialistic. See, we know that we are talking to all devotee community. So it goes without saying that we have accepted priority in life is to become Krishna conscious. But still, the tolerance level, what is happening outside, it also affects the devotee community also. The tolerance level is low. Even little issue, petty problems also, they explode, and it becomes unbearable, and there is no question about adjustment. So few things I'm just thinking, and whatever observation and whatever we have experienced in the during this last many years we have spent in devotee community. So one last thing also, I see that now because people have become so busy in their own uh, uh, taking care of just a family, uh, invitation or friends or guests coming to the house and all that is becoming also less. So it also is a very important thing that if there is a problem between two of them, let it be known to close other members who are friends or family members, which is also. So all these are adding up. But to remind you that whatever we are going to discuss, there is no substitute to become Krishna conscious. This is not a solution where we disconnect from becoming Krishna conscious and finding a solution. That will never work. So Krishna consciousness is the foundation, which if it is there, but same time, it is also very important that skills are very important for interpersonal relationship and all relationships. So what to speak about the most intimate relationship, where there is so much intimacy in this relationship. So skills play a very important role. So now I'll hand over to Premlila to speak what is her how is the what is the role of skills, because skills, how it can be of some added, not really added, a very integral or very instrumental uh, to bring some balance or understanding between why this is happening, why little issues they just bring up become big. So she will speak, and if whatever I remember, if there is any Shastric reference, I'll just try to connect to give it little more, because we are a devotee community, and whatever we speak, there should be some also reference to Shastra. Okay, so I hope you all are. So thank you once again for your participation, and I'll ask Premlila to speak on this topic here. You can hear her now. Please ask whether you can hear.
You can hear me, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, we can hear.
Okay, fine. So you all can hear. Eh? Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, now let me start saying this, that when we were married, that is 37 years ago, and when we joined Krishna consciousness, there was never a talk of a skill. That it was said that you get married and now go ahead with your marriage and just pull up. Whatever happens, no issue of divorce, and just pull up. But you see, now in ISKCON, it is not true. What is happening, because of so many very small reason, and it may be some reason not very spiritual also. It's not because what I meant in spiritual is that it's not because somebody is not following regulative principle, or somebody is divorcing because somebody is not following regulative principle, or because somebody is not accepting Krishna as the supreme personality. But usually this breaking because of the a very I don't know how to quote, but something like very material, which is important also, and it breaks because of that. And I feel that now, after so many years of marriage, and with our own issues, and it's not that we are perfect couple who are speaking now. We had our own issues, and we fought against it, and we are still fighting against it, and trying to work, trying to save our marriage. And so I know it is not going to be that easy, but knowing the skill will make things much easier. It much makes your life easy to, like he said, that ultimately you cannot separate Krishna consciousness. Yes, very true. But also remember, sometimes we become little fanatic and we think that by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, going to temple, reading Bhagavatam, will solve our differences. So for differences, just like, when you are sick, you cannot say that I will not go to the doctor, I'll just chant and, my disease will be cured. Similarly, we cannot say just by chanting, all our differences will go away. For that also you need a skill. So skill plays an important role. So because we don't have much time, so what I thought is that we'll discuss only three skills. There are many skills. There are many skills which help, which is a very good help to work on our marriage, and and make the marriage very successful. And also, which helps because I've seen in our own family, like family of devotees, that because of these reasons they have separated, or their children had issues because we parents don't know how to acknowledge their feeling, or uh, try to understand them, have that skill how to tell them things what to be told to them then. So these are the skills which plays a very important role in person's life. So now coming to the topic of marriage, the one thing which is very important is like I feel is a speech. You know, speech. It says that it can break a marriage at any, because he said the tongue is the one which is very soft, organ of the body, softest or softest, whatever you call. So, but that same tongue can kill somebody emotionally. So I remember once talking to Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj, because even I had a same issue, and maybe still they have it. I'm very blunt and very open about something. So I asked Maharaj that, Maharaj, what is wrong in being straightforward? So he said, there's nothing wrong being. I said, no. I asked him, what is wrong being in honest? When you tell honestly people something. He said, there's nothing wrong in being honest. But yes, how you say it is very important, because in our relationship also, because we were just discussing that, then when we are married for, then we take each other for granted, because this person is available all the time, and we see so many faults or so many weaknesses, or maybe something which we don't like it. So we tend to take people for granted, especially our spouse, maybe our family member, and this also creates lots of problem, especially the tone what we speak. See, sometimes what happens, we want to express our views, and maybe it is with the anger, that view comes in the anger, and it is not spoken in a right tone. And what happens is the other party, it can be a spouse, it can be anyone, your children, what they see is not the words. What they hear is not the word. What they hear is the tone. So a sentence, a sentence can create a big problem in life if it is not spoken in a right tone. You know, so like I'm just thinking for an example. I didn't think about it, but I was thinking, us, like telling a person, um, okay, like say now husband tells a wife that this food is burnt. Right? It makes a difference. The food is burnt. Okay, hear my tone. I think this food is burnt. You gave me, others say, you gave me a burnt food. Imagine if your relationship is little, had an issue, these sentences spoken in a wrong tone can create a big issue. So it's very important that we be very conscious when we express a view. Be very conscious in what tone we speak, right? Uh, I remember that once, a big issue happened between husband and wife, and I mean, I don't want to go in a detail because we don't have so much of time. But then it was told to the man, the husband, that what you spoke is the truth. There is nothing wrong. But the way you spoke to her at the time, what time you spoke to her, that spoiled everything. You know. already your relationship is strained and you speak in such a tone, it really creates lots of problem in relationship. So we should be very careful that how you speak, in what tone you speak. You like to add something?
Yeah, so it's a very crucial thing in an interpersonal relationship. That speaking is something very natural. We speak and uh, but very spontaneous we speak. But as Premlila is saying about the tone, which is very much mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter, the title Divisions of Fair, where the Lord says about what is austerity of speech. So he mentions in the 15th verse of 17th chapter, he says, Anudvega karam vakyam, satyam priya hitam chayat, swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva, vanmayam tapa uchyati. So he's giving also a solution that the Lord says, which also Rupa Goswami says that tongue is the one which is the most difficult to control. It's like a force. But here the Lord specifies 5 things to how we should control our speech. What are the 5 things is we should not speak unnecessary to agitate someone. If you know and it's going to agitate, then don't speak. But then you should know that what you're going to speak is truthful, not just hearsay or some type of a speculation you had. And it should be very soothing and it should be beneficial. But the 5th one, most important, is that to purify our hear and recite scriptures. That's what he said. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva. So regularly reciting, no doubt we are chanting, which is holy name itself is the most powerful thing. But even reciting Sanskrit shlokas, so this type of an austerity or a sadhana, it purifies. So what she says, a skill and what solution is also given in Bhagavad Gita. Can take.
Mm. Yeah. See, I was thinking about the skill. Don't think that skill is something come recently and people have discovered it recently. It's there going since ages. But only thing we were not aware, our parents have dealt with this skill. Like I remember, like we were discussing, is it that our parents never had an issue between each of them? Like I myself remember asking my mother, I think my father left and one day I was just asking her, tell me honestly, you never had an issue with my father, like, you never fought or something. So she said, it's not that we didn't have an issue. We always had an issue. But she said, but I knew how to, she didn't say I knew. She said, I know, how to handle it. Because if she had an issue, the first thing is she would keep quiet. Not sullen face, but she would keep quiet, not say anything. But she would do everything for my husband. I mean, for her husband. She will cook. She was a very good cook. So she would cook nicely, take care of him, everything. But there was a type of she said a type of a silence. She knew that my father knew that she's upset about it. So, then they will have a talk and she will ask her why, what, and, then they'll have a nice discussion. This is what is communication. I think the second skill which I really want to speak of is about communication. How it is very important that we communicate the right thing at the right time. Like, sometimes what happens, we speak in such a way that the message given to the other person is understood in another way. Most of the time, this communication harms our relationship. So we have to be very careful. Like what you say, how do you express, and in what mood you express. So that is very important. And most of the thing, most important is husband wife sitting every day and just spending time with each other, talking talking about each other's issues, or talking about anything, even if you're like you're Krishna conscious, discussing philosophy, talking. It should not be only philosophy all the time, because you have to understand what is other person's need. Because sometimes what happens, other person may not be so much about philosophy, so they want to have a very light talk. But we should spend time talking to each other and communicating in a right way. you know there is a skill which I thought we'll not able to do it, because we really wanted to do that skill, communicating to each other. Like okay, Can we have the skill on? Like, can we have
Can
it?
you demonstrate this?
Demonstrate?
Yeah, Mataji, please. We can
Okay,
do.
fine. Now you see me and Adikeshav Prabhu together. So, okay, this is a mic. So I want to demonstrate this so that we can clearly understand what we are talking about. So this is a mic which I am going to, the rule of this mic is I will say something, and the other partner, whoever it may be, should able to clearly speak where I feel that he has understood me, what I'm trying to say. If he doesn't, I will not give him this mic. Till he doesn't clearly speak what I've said, I will not give the mic. It same goes to him. If he feels that I'm not clearly understood what he's trying to say, that mic will not come to me to give the reply to the other thing. Now the situation is the situation. Uh, remember, the situation may be I was typing what fight husband wife can have. Okay, sorry. Okay, the situation is that the husband had asked the wife that he wants some roti and sabji, and the wife, she made paratha and raita. Okay, he had asked his wife that I'm coming home, make roti and sabji, and she made paratha and raita. Okay, so now the discussion will start. That husband comes home and the wife speaks to him. So be very attentive and try to. We are going to ask you 2-3 questions. We want to know what did you find. Where was the fault and what could have we done about it, and what is the skill we could have used here. Like we spoke about tone, we are going to speak about communication. So you also should be very attentive and just tell us what you think we could have done to improve this relationship. Okay, now my husband has come home. So, okay, fine. The mic is with me, so I'm going to speak about it. Okay. I say, Prabhu, oh my God, you must have been, you are very tired, right? You came from your office. So I made paratha and raita, and I made some papads, and this is what I was waiting for you to come in. You know, let's have the dinner. So now I want him to say something. Yeah, what did you can speak?
Obviously, I will react now because I have wanted chapati and sabji.
So speak like that. Huh?
But
Why
then,
did you make?
then why did you make? I had already made it very clear to in the morning that I would like to have chapati and sabji in the evening.
Okay, what you're trying to say is that you would prefer to eat paratha, and I mean you would prefer to eat chapati and sabji. I understood that you wanted a chapati and sabji, but I was just thinking maybe paratha will be much better for you, so that raita will better, but for you. So now you have to try to. Okay, you say something.
So you knew that I had asked for you that chapati, but you thought that for my health and whatever you that paratha and raita will be better.
Yeah. Okay, fine. That was good. I think you really understood what you're trying to say. But I want to also say that it's not that I was not didn't want to make chapati and sabji for you, but I felt more than your health. I felt chapati and sabji you have it every day, but can you have paratha and raita?
So you thought that every day anyway I'm having chapati and sabji. So to give some variety, so today you thought this will be a little different. So you thought about making today paratha and raita.
Yeah, I know that is true. Yeah. So see, this is there is so much of understanding when each other tried, because now see what happened is in this case, because even Adikeshav Prabhu became very conscious that he should understand what I'm trying to speak. So it is a very nice way of dealing with the issue. Otherwise, it becomes a big issue when they don't understand each other. Why this person did what they did. And also remember one thing. In communication, it also depends on the background of the person. Like I want to once how the background, like the background means your upbringing, your surrounding, and your parents upbringing or teaching what happened. Like I remember this one girl had an issue that the way the dosa is made in the house. Okay, now she's a South Indian married to a North Indian. And she had an issue she had an issue because her husband didn't like, because his mother is to make a dosa which had rice, besan, and rava. Okay, and they preferred that, and she felt that they are South Indians and they can make better dosa, which is true, but it created a rift because the mother-in-law also was there, and everybody to please. So this caused lots of problem with them, and they were not able to, because she felt this is how the dosa is made. It's made of rice and urad dal. And he's saying, no, I want rice and the way my mother makes. And she says, your mother is not a South Indian. I'm a South Indian. And this cuisine is coming from South India. I said, but for this, you don't need to fight. But if you had understood that from which background is coming, maybe this girl who's coming from South should have adjusted it. But she was sticking to her culture. Her culture is dosa is made of rice and urad dal. And for him, the culture is dosa means rice, besan, and rava, because that is all mother cooked for him. And because of this lack of communication, and because of the background and the culture, they'll have problem. But if they sit and discuss, now you may think that if for such stupid reason they fight, trust me, for such small thing, it becomes a big issue. He's like this, I'm like this, my background is like this, your background is like
The
this.
loaf of bread we have
Huh.
created.
Yeah, you should say that.
No, what
Yeah.
Premlila just brought out this issue about upbringing, culture, one type of which you are so fixed to it that, but it could be misunderstood. One of the major reason is always misunderstanding.
Mm.
See, wherever you go in relationship, these are the two things. He said like this, or she said like this, and he did like this, or she did like this. You spoke or you did like this. So this was one example I heard in our ISKCON society itself. The Italian lady was married to an American, and both are devotees. And now in Italy, the loaf of bread, the last part of the loaf bread, the bread, the last part is actually very much like it is given to the most
Relished.
dear person or the respected person in the family, the last one. But in US, that is thrown to the dogs. Only the middle part is shared in the family members, but the first part and the last part is given. So this became such an issue that in his heart he said that my wife doesn't respect me and she treats me like a dog. Now, when she was told, so she had to bring up that in Italy, we consider this part of the loaf of bread to the only person who is loved and respected. So this type of misunderstanding, if there is no proper communication, it can be as we have heard that it will go on within, and it can create such a big rift that the relationship can, uh, if it is not been shared or spoken or solved, it is like kept in the heart, and it becomes too difficult later when the rift has widened. So just these are the few things, experiences, misunderstanding, relationship, tone, the speech, communication. So just to bring out again, Prabhupada says in Yoga of Perfection, in a small book, how important he says about that when we speak about something, that the person, we should be concerned about to whom you are speaking, that whether that person has understood what you are speaking. Of course, it plays a very important role for preachers when they are preaching, but even in person-to-person relationship. So the person, if he has understood, then he absorbs it, he properly digests, and then he also, just like in this skill, that he repeats what has he understood. So this, what you have spoken and how it is understood, is a very important element of communication, which can sometimes or many times, because we already have some type of expectation, and in that expectation, the communication, if it is not there according to what we expect, then we think that it is a disrespect. So in this case, there was no disrespect. The wife was very much respecting, and she loved her husband, and she was sharing things, but it was misunderstood. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, I know. So this is what is communication. So, we have to be very clear and we should be very open to discuss, even if you have a differences, and take some help. When you know that the differences between husband and wife is not taken properly, I'll just check what is it. Yeah. So when the differences between husband and wife is not discussed properly, so you should be, um, you know, take a humble position and try to discuss. I will tell you one incident between us when we were newly married. Adikeshav Prabhu came from a family where, the water, in that society, the water would not come. It would come in a particular time. So
Store the water.
yeah, they had to store the water in a bucket after bath. Okay. Now, I never had that experience because it is a 24 hours, water coming. So what happened when we got married and we went to our own new house. So every time after bath, we will just fill the bucket and keep it. And when I go for bath, I used to get so irritated. Why are you filling the bucket? Let it be. We don't need it. But it was an habit. So then I was getting irritated, no doubt, because I wanted to empty the bucket, clean, dry the bathroom, put the bucket ulta, upside down, just to put in a corner and keep the bathroom clean. But he would fill the bucket, and it's to irritate. And one day I said, why are you doing this? Why can't you just stop doing this? So he said, but I'm fearful. But what if the water goes? I said, but 24 hours ka pani hai. Why are you worried? He said, but yeah, sometime it can. So like that. So then what happened? So this communication, talking to each other and trying to find out why you're doing like this, why you're doing like, it really helps because you're communicating. You're not fighting. You're just communicating. Prabhu, why like this? Mataji, why like this? Talking to your mother or your in-laws, talking out to them and trying to understand why they did it, for what they did it. So that is a real communication. Just don't keep it in your heart, that pain. Oh, they said like this. Oh, they did like this. What you're doing is you're killing your feelings. They're feelings which you need to nurture. You're killing it by just keeping in your heart and not discussing about it. And then it builds up to a big demon of doubt. Oh, this person doesn't care for me. My mother-in-law doesn't care. My mother-in-law think like this. My mother-in-law, or for my father-in-law, whatever. My son, he doesn't understand, or my daughter doesn't understand. So these things need to be cleared. Like one example in this, I know we are, running. Yeah, sorry. So one example I want to shortly say, you know, there's a latest one incident happened, and just talking to this is between a mother and daughter. What happened is, now this daughter is grown up and the mother is, they had an issue about the daughter had an issue about the way mother didn't care for when they were young, when they were the children. The mother had her own habits. She would be not cooking for them or something like that. She would give them money and tell them to go and eat in the school or something like that. And then, but this girl, now she's grown up, she has her own child. But see that thing, it's work, now it is, getting into another issue where she feels my mother neglected it. And when I speak to the mother, my mother said, I did it, but I thought, let me give them money and let them have something fancy to eat. But see the communication. But see this girl or the child who kept it in her heart for such a long time. And now it is getting, issue. And, the mother and daughter have a issue about it. They are not. So best is to communicate. Don't keep it in your heart. Now she's grown up. She understood maybe I was neglected. But I felt that they should communicate to each other what happened. So they let the mother also speak to them, to her daughter. So this will, kya bolte hain, it clears the relationship, and that is very important. So this is communication, and the next skill what we are talking about is the need, because like I spoke that we all come from a different family background, the way we have been brought up by our parents, the situation where we grew up, the atmosphere where we grew up, and the surroundings where you grew up. It's totally different, you know. Because of that reason, there is a need of everyone. We all have a need, which we sometimes, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we tend to neglect the need. We think we need to kill the need, but it's actually should dovetail the need. So if there, it is said that just putting together some short way, there are different people, they have a different need. their love, like, yeah, good, thank Krishna to remind me. It's something about love. Somebody feel loved, and the way everybody feel love, what makes them feel loved is different. The way makes me feel love is something different. The way he feels loved is something different. So, there is there is one author. He has a nice book. It is called, I think I have the book. It's called Five Love Languages, and I really like this book because I was reading this book long back. I read this book for relationship. He talks that how everybody has their own thing. They understand their love in their own languages, and we need to understand their language and speak to them according to their language so they can feel loved. So it is very important to understand what is my spouse's love language, what is my son's love language, or what is my daughter's love language, or what is my daughter-in-laws or my neighbors. What makes them feel loved, which is more important. It's very important because, see, one thing you remember: the one who feels loved in this world, he can do wonders. He is a very positive person. He sees the world in a very positive way because always been loved with pick and care. So it is very important, especially when we are married, to expect that love from your partner.
Newly married,
Yeah,
especially.
newly married, even after marriage. No, I think Adikeshav of Speech newly married, but I feel till the end, it is so important that
the first 7, 8
yeah,
years.
7, 8 years is very important that you really understand what is others' love language. So he speaks about there are 5 type of love language. Some people, they feel affirmation of what is that affirmation of?
Words of affirmation.
The words of affirmation. Then the second one is he speaks about quality time, which everybody understand. Third is receiving gifts and acts of service and physical touch. Now, I just want to explain little. Words of affirmation is one, the person compliments. What happens is most of the time in our relationship, when you see something good in person, it may be any relationship. When you see something good in person, we don't acknowledge that. But when you see something wrong, we are very open to tell about it. So what happens? Every time you listen from your people, the negative thing, you tend to feel that you're unloved. So words of affirmation, like you just see somebody, like you say, your husband does something nice, and you say, "Oh, thank you, Prabhu, you did this for me." This encourages that person to do more, and he feel very enthusiasm, or she feels very enthusiasm to do things, and they feel loved, and so they do more things. Second is quality time. I don't need to explain this, because you all know it is just like a child. Somebody, everyone needs quality time. But under, sometimes people say, "Oh, I sat with her," or she says, "Oh, I was with him, I ate my dinner." Ate dinner is not, but sitting and discussing, talking a topic where both feel comfortable, that is more important. And then receiving gift, everybody loves to receive gift, but yeah, not everybody. I will explain that also. Act of services, some people, you know they, if you say something, they want that to be done at that time, and when you do it, they feel loved.
Yeah, so,
Like,
so just want to bring up one issue about there was one book written, it's very popular with it. Men are from Mars and men are from. The way a woman thinks and a man thinks is
Different.
there's a big difference. So Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami Maharaj, or once we were having some discussion on relationships, especially in married life, he said a woman thinks her husband loves her when she receives the gifts. Yeah, on the day of her birthday or the marriage anniversary, or he gives her some gifts, so that makes her feel that, oh, really cares and he loves. But the man is something different. The man thinks whether his wife loves him or not is how obedient she is to him. If he has told her something that you please clean this shelf, and if she has not done it in the evening when he comes, that he immediately thinks that she doesn't love me, she doesn't care. So for him, it is more of, some obedience. That is a sign. For him, it is not the gift; it is obedience. For her, it is a gift. So the way think also we should understand how a man thinks and how a woman thinks. This is just some knowledge which also it's also a skill
Yeah.
to understand. So you go ahead.
Yeah, it is very important that, but also remember this another thing is the physical touch, but this has nothing to do with the, the gross physical is a thing. It's just like, you touch a person, you speak, like remember, when a child, an example is given of a child. If a child is hugged and kissed, that child who receives love in this way, it grows up to be a wonderful child who is very self-satisfied because the child has received lots of love. What happens is we, as we grow, as the child grows, that hugs and the kisses or love showing, expressing a love physically becomes less. Understand? Even in marriage, initially there was a physical touch, but as you grow, after the marriage, some years, that physical touch also becomes less, right? So then the person who understands, who love through physical touch, that person becomes very dry because it's just example of when you put money in the bank, little it becomes like a savings,
Savings.
lots of money. So what happens when a difficult time, you can remove some money and you'll be like that. So similarly, if you have put a drop of love in that person's life by physical touch, in some time something happens, you have a difference of opinion or a little fight or major fight maybe, but that time it will not ruin your relationship because this spouse, whoever it may be, they feel loved and cared. So that it is very important that we all are different. Like I'm a very physical person, and words of affirmation, these two are my major. Like when these two is done to me, I feel very enlivened, I feel very cared for, I feel very loved, and it makes me really feel do so many things. And I see Adikesha Prabhu's love language is totally different. He's act of service, and I don't know, act of service. Mostly it is his act of service. When things are done, when he tells something to be done, he feels nice, he feels respected, he feels honored, or he feels cared for. Otherwise, again, we try. We what is happening? We only do what is. We only answer our love, and we forget other person's love. So, but we should know that what is other person's need. When you do according to their need, very soon they will understand our love and they will help us to fill our love time. I'm really rushing up because I saw the time. It is already 5:45, and Adikesh, would you like to end the thing? Like,
Yeah, so again, thank you very much for all your attentive participation. And I hope that whatever we shared, some from our own experience and some what we had observed in devotee community, especially many marriages were really on the verge of breaking, but little more type of, just this type of discussions, which has really helped. And we have seen people coming together and understanding that where they have gone wrong. So to conclude, today's topic was mainly focusing on
skills to share.
skills to save. Of course, save is a very important because marriage is for good. As you heard that marriages are made in heaven, it's a very sacred commitment. But now this term save has come because things are not the same. There is no stability now. But it's a very glorious platform, whatever we call grahastha ashram or married life for. So without a stable married life, it is very difficult for us to perform our devotional service and progress, which we are here for. Our ultimate purpose is to develop that, ultimate loving relationship with the ultimate supreme loving object that is Lord Krishna. So there is no substitute to that, but this plays a very important role. If there is no proper, stable or a loving relationship, it is very difficult to fulfill all other responsibilities of devotional service. Huh? There are so many responsibilities in devotional life besides our professional and family life. So those things will be difficult. So no substitute, of course, that is very foundational. So Krishna consciousness. So all this what we discussed, not to disconnect oneself from Krishna consciousness, then say that how we can solve this problem. To some extent, it will work, But same time, parallel, if you are very sincere in our spiritual practice, association, hearing especially, regularly hearing spiritual discourses, and in our sadhana, which is strongly recommended for this age, is a mantra meditation or chanting the holy name. When we do all this and with little skills and some good association we keep, uh, small problems is they will not be so serious. So, if we have time, then just one, just to conclude from one Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one verse which I just heard about. Is it is actually for community, but I felt that it goes for even husband-wife relationship also. This is a verse spoken by not the Sudama Vipra, the Sudama whom Krishna met in Mathura. So when Krishna blessed him, he appreciated. So he prayed to Krishna. He said, so I will only read the translation. So he's praying. So now see how important it is. This Sudama, he prays to Krishna saying that, please grant me unshakable devotion for Krishna. And the second thing he asks is, and friendship with his devotees. And the third thing is asking, let my heart become soft and be compassionate for all other living beings. So it is first, it is devotion to Krishna. Second, friendship with, now here with devotees, and here of course the most important intimate devotee is your husband, or for husband it is wife and family members. That's the most intimate association. So now friendship in Sanskrit, it is said Sauhardham. Sau means good, and Ardham means, really from the heart. So when a relationship is good and it's from the heart, that relationship is very strong. So this is a prayer is granted. So which goes parallel with what we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings that, Jiva Daya, Nama Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva. So your Nama Ruchi means grant me the devotion. Jiva Daya means let me have some also compassionate feelings for others who are less fortunate, who are not received. That means preaching, one sense. So Grahastha life is one of the most easily accessible life in the community where we can preach. People can easily get connected to Grahastha. Not the renounce order is difficult to access. So to preach, and the one which most important is Vaishnava, because husband and wife are Vaishnavas, but because of familiarity, they take it for granted. So they don't see as Vaishnava. So it creates a problem seeing. So this is one verse from 10th Canto, which also. So thank you very much for your attentive participation and hearing. It was a wonderful experience. Even though we could not see who are the people, I can just, it's a very virtual type of but still during this COVID time, this has been a great blessings. This Zoom connection and internet, and so we could still, even though we are not able to meet or, go to the temple or attend festivals. So thank you once again for all your time, and also for inviting us and giving us your also valuable association, even though we were the only one we are speaking. So now we throw it open for all of you. If there is any question, if there is time, we can utilize whatever time is there for some question answer.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhu.
very
So,
much.
Haribol, thank you, thank you. It was a wonderful session, Prabhuji Mataji. People have asked questions in chat. Maybe I can read those and pass them on to you. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Machi. So we had one question, a couple of questions, in fact, related to this topic of the feeling of love in marriage, right? How we can keep this love within our marriage long lasting and keep it going over the years.
Okay, I will take the question.
Yeah, please, it's for you.
Yeah. So, when we understand what makes we feel, okay, let me put it. When we understand how my tank will be filled so that I feel loved, I also should understand that what is that will make him feel loved. Okay. When we express their needs, like I said, for him, it is service attitude, things should be done, it should be there. Before he says something, it should be present. So when that things are done, constantly, when you try to fill his love tank, then you can, when if he doesn't understand, you can also express your feeling that this is what makes me feel loved. So when you express this feeling, that person knows, because most of the time what happens, the other party doesn't know what makes you feel loved. So sometimes you need to express, this is what I feel. I feel content, I feel loved when this is done to me. This is how it is done. So we need to talk it out. We need to, we should not expect that, oh, this person should know what is my need. No, because according, he or she will do things according to his or her feelings of love. Like I feel loved by touch, so I may touch him, hug him, but he doesn't feel that. He doesn't feel that love by that. He's not satisfied. Even if I touch him, I hug him or something, he will not feel that. He's coming now. Okay, let me keep his dhoti ready. Let me iron and keep it. So then he comes and he searches, his things are ready. That uh,
Yeah,
Rishikesh.
it's going on.
Yeah. So, the
going on.
things are ready. So that makes him feel loved. Oh, well, the internet connection unstable. So they feel loved. So we have to understand then when we have our need, that even the opposite person, whoever it may be, maybe neighbor, children, they also have the need of love. So when we understand, when their tank is full, they will understand that, when
Yeah.
you tell them, then they will also understand
Yeah.
that how, that you can
Can I
help
help
each other. Anything you would like
Yeah,
to
I
add?
just, the question was about how to see that the love is very sustained and evergreen for, as years pass. Yeah, true. That depends upon, most of the time the relationship is at a very physical or a material level, because, and that never remains same. If your wife was very attractive before, now she's not attractive. So then if your relationship was based on that, then there was a big challenge. So that is why I am again repeating, there is no substitute to elevate our consciousness. So during this time, the marriage, our whole purpose is to elevate our consciousness. When you elevate our consciousness, the material changes, they are not the one who will influence us about our likings. It is something higher. So I would always emphasize more on our elevating our consciousness. That's what we are here for, and all other things keep on changing. So the relationship foundation is based on only physical attraction. That relationship, it is difficult. They are going to face big challenge as
Yeah.
time passes, and if they are not developed their consciousness in the right direction. So this is a warning for all of us, that eventually the one which really gives satisfaction is a spiritual satisfaction, which, because it's very close to our heart, it is close to our soul. That's what we are aiming for through this relationship. Okay, Prabhu, I hope
And
we
I
try
hope
to
our
answer
answers
question.
are not too long.
Yeah.
And
Is there anything?
this is-
Is there
No,
anything else?
thank you so much. It's really thorough answer. I'm sure the more we hear, the better it is. And you said about time. We hope that all of us can remain as attractive as the two of you as the years pass. Just um, so another question. Uh, that can you please tell us how to control anger and speech in every situation? Uh,
I think that should go to him, not me. He should answer this.
So yeah, this is a very valid question. Anger is something which is uh, we regret later, but at that time, the anger is so spontaneous. It's like a big force. So the only solution is, again, the more we keep in the mode of goodness, the less is the chance of we getting angry. But still, anger is very uncertain. Anytime it may arise, and so understanding that anytime. So there are some skills meant for that. Better you just don't open your mouth, or just suppress it, or just go away from the situation, or calm down and then react, instead of just impulsively reacting. So even that much restraint, if you have that, many types of things can be, because we all are going to regret later that, and I'm sure you already regret when in anger how we have behaved, how we have spoken. So anger is very dangerous, and anger can be controlled by only keeping our mind and senses engaged in proper service.
And
Prabhupada,
also, yeah,
Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, you don't become angry, he said, because I don't have lust, he said. So all the disciples, they got so disappointed that means we don't have any hope of, you know. Then he said, it's not that I don't have lust, I don't have time for lust. So what he meant is, don't keep your time very idle. Utilize your time nicely wherever it is. Whenever, of course, we have our job and all, but whatever time is available, that time use it for what it is really meant for, to purify your consciousness, or maybe some very constructive type of discussion, not talking unnecessary things which have no meaning, no much value, or just some sense gratification topics. So this way, naturally, our anger will be controlled. Which I'm sure all of you know that coming to spiritual life, we are not the same people. So when in a short time, which if it has affected it so much, imagine the more we do it, how much it can help us. So we all have changed. Anger is less, but still, it is something to be discussed again and again.
Okay, in a very short way, because Adikeshav already spoke, I just want to say that, anger is something which is not so easy to, unless you try to understand what makes you angry. That situation, you have to go deep into it. There is a situation with the opposite party, you got angry. Then you should go deep. That angry means we throw our voice loudly and fight it out. Then you should go deep into it and try to say, why did I do that? What made me do that? What is that irritated me and made me do that? So then what happens, when you go deep into it, sometimes you feel again unloved,
Already, yeah.
ununderstood, not been understood, or something like that. So then you need to work on that anger. You should know that anger will kill you, nobody else. You regret in your life when you get angry. So you should know how to handle such situation without anger. Because if you handle the situation without anger, then it improves your relationship, whoever the person may be. Because even why I said that, let it give, because even I am a type of a person who get irritated very fast, and that brings to anger. So that's why I want to know that what is that, what is the right
Provoking.
word? Provoking me to get irritated.
What provokes me to become angry?
So then what happens? I know, there is a particular person who speaks in such a way, then I get very irritated. And in that irritation, my voice tone changes. So then I said, okay, I know this person is like that. So I prepare myself. This person come, I'm not going to, I'm going to be, hold on. I'm not going to get irritated. I keep saying, I will not get irritated. So what happens? You're already prepared.
Okay, very
That
good.
this person is going to irritate me. He will say something or she will say something which no, I'm not going to, because who's a loser? Not they win the thing. We are the loser because we lost our control, and it is not good. Like I heard from someone that a very advanced devotee who gives very, but he poor thing, he said, I'm doing so many things, and but from a spiritual idea, and such a, I get angry so fast. So he had to counsel, go for counseling.
Take some outside help.
Yeah, outside help to control his anger, because he realized, I'm preaching but I'm not able to control my anger. I need to know why. So you have to know why you're getting angry with this person, why you're getting irritated with this person. So there is something that irritates you. So then that is not that person's issue. It is your difficulty. You should work on it. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prajimati.
Thank
So,
you very much.
yeah. One question. We talked about differences in culture, which can sometimes cause issues, right? So, someone is asking, is it more important to, as someone who is practicing devotional life ourselves, is it more important to marry another devotee, even though they may be from a different background and a different culture? Or would it be better to marry someone who is favorable, maybe at least favorable to Krishna consciousness, but may not be practicing very seriously, as long as they are from a similar culture or background?
Okay, for this, this is my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very nice question.
Yeah, very nice question. But when you get married, we have when we got married, we didn't talk to each other. A parent said, "This is what you do." He said, "You get married." That's we got married. But nowadays, it's not like that. It's not same. The boy and the girl, they meet, they talk, they get to know each other. So marry where you know there is less of differences, maybe less. Now it is whether to marry because sometimes, see, we are most of the time we are marrying devotees. It's very rare the girls get married to an outsider because their parents don't get the boy the way they want. Otherwise, even if you marry a different culture, but you know that culture will make a difference, will bring some differences. You should see that you marry such a person, there is less differences. Differences will be there. Even if you marry a devotee from same culture, same background, differences will be there. But marry someone where you know it's less different, that you don't need to struggle and see challenges every day. That is very important.
So it's a very important question. So whether marry a devotee from a different culture or marry from the same culture but who is not a devotee. I mean not. Yeah, so culture plays a very important role. But if both of them are very nice understanding that we are already from a different culture, that we have come here for Krishna consciousness. And other thing, yes, you are. Then there is a risk of getting that other person to to bring you because it's your responsibility to see that now that person becomes Krishna conscious, whether it's husband or wife. So you'll have to invest more time and this to come bring them to that level. No doubt there may be because some cultural compatibility is there, but it is not necessary that as far as Krishna conscious progress is concerned, it may not be so fast. But if here it is because cultural difference, but both of them are very Krishna conscious. So little cultural difference. So it has to be balanced. Something which we cannot just. But you both are right. So problems are in both. Whether it is just devotees who are very fixed getting married, or someone marrying someone is advanced, someone is not so advanced. It's the same culture. So just like it's a very common saying that the problems are both in love marriages also there is problem, and in arranged marriages also there are problem. It is not that arranged marriage is there is no problem. We see problems in arranged marriages also. So something like that. I hope it is uh, okay. Whoever has asked that question, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And one more question. That what should we do if one partner wants to communicate and wants to fix problems, but the other partner is not cooperating so much or not ready to discuss or communicate? Then how to make it work in that case?
Okay, that depends. If other partner is not ready to hear, then that person who's ready to communicate, you should understand why that person is not ready to listen. Maybe that person doesn't get a chance to say something because the other partner is aggressive or as a way of speaking, and I'll tell you, when I don't feel ashamed to say this. I had a way of expressing my feeling, and it would be loud and very tearful. And Adikeshav Prabhu would not like such thing. Then he'll say, if you want to discuss, you're not going to raise your voice. Because I felt, he asked me once, why are you so loud? I said, I want to be heard. He said, okay, I will hear, but you should not raise your voice. And so sometimes what happens, they just run away from that situation because they feel by discussing will only lead to fight. So one person want to discuss, but maybe that partner who wants to discuss doesn't follow how to talk and how to. Maybe that is the reason. We have to find out why the other partner doesn't want to talk or the other person doesn't want to discuss. There will be a reason because that person may be fearful, maybe can't handle the situation. What is going to happen? So we have to see that other person also becomes very comfortable and has confidence that is very confident, or she is very confident that our talk between both of us is going to be very low tone and it will help each other. If that confidence there, I'm sure they'll be ready to, because there is some fear of being challenged or threatened. So maybe that partner doesn't want to discuss. They feel very this. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We have time for
Prabhu, we have time.
but
Only we are considerate about you all. That's all. We have time. We are old people. We don't have much to do.
Okay, I see one more question, Mataji. Maybe
Yes,
we can
Prabhu.
take one more. So,
Thank you very much.
someone is asking about kundli matching. Is
Oh,
kundli matching?
Kundali.
Or
Okay.
Yeah. Is it crucial before getting married? And what if you're sure that you like each other but kundlis are not matching? Should you go ahead with marriage or should you not get married? Little off topic, but
Prabhu Kundli talks
Also-
about the gross thing, like, whether these children have a progeny or these people will have a, short life, long life, the death, whatever. Progeny, then it depends on the partners whether they really want to. They say, but we don't know what is Krishna's plan for all of us. So that can be, but इतना भी मत depend हो जाओ कि that kundali only controls you like everything, everywhere. Don't become so much dependent that even if you want to drink a water, you want to check your kundali. You want to go to take a dip, you check your kundali. It should not be that way. Not so much of dependence. But somewhere, yes, for marriage, it is important. It helps, so can be. But mostly it's after marriage. It's very important what you do after marriage.
It gives you some direction in life, that in your future journey. But one thing very crucial is we don't deny the authenticity of the science. But only thing is, in this age, to find a very accurate reader uh, is a very difficult thing. Because two different astrologers, they give their different opinion. But what if people, as the question, what if people, they like each other and but their kundalis don't match? But then it is their decision, because because kundali is again material. It is at a material level. The way the stars, the constellations, how it is influencing our physical body, nature, what type of a karmic reaction, which. Uh, but people who are very serious about their spiritual life, they can transcend this. It gives you some type of a direction in our life. This will be the obstacle, this will come, so you already know it, that this is going to happen. When both jointly together, they overcome it. So I know cases where devotees are married and where the kundali has been grossly a mismatch, but they felt that we both are finding we are compatible at our devotional life, and they are now married for more than 25, 30 years, and whatever was predicted in the kundali is not been very accurate. So there are many cases where what kundali says and which is not seen. But same time, I'm not saying that we don't believe, or we believe in it, and it should be matched, unless it is a very uh, gross, it's a gross mismatch. We should consider some type of adjustment. If it is a gross mismatch and if it's repeatedly it's saying different, then I think we should. Then it is very obvious that this is not a very compatible match. It's okay.
yes. Thank you so much, Prajima. We have questions are keeping on going, but I think in respect of everyone's time, we will end the session here. So thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Yes.
Prabhu, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Because I've been reading some of the questions, and I felt that it's something deep to understand it. So what we can do is, Prabhu, you can either give our number to them. We would like to, either chat or call up, talk to each other. We don't mind doing that, because we know how important it is for everybody to have a wonderful relationship, to progress in Krishna consciousness. Because I've seen, or we both have seen some cases where things were neglected, and after some years, it has gone into separation. So I think we need to. So even we have we have no issue, but because of the timing. But you can ask them to give our number if they are comfortable.
We can.
Otherwise, not. We have no issue, whatever it is.
Mataji, I would just like to request Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Rajwal Abhi?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, yes, sorry. Yeah.
So, Mataji, like some devotees also wanted a repeat, a continuation in the next week. So, if you all are free to take it up next week,
No, we have no
continuation of this skills.
We can discuss the date and time. Next Sunday.
Next week.
Next Sunday, same time, 5 o'clock.
5 to 6.
5. It's okay with us. 5 o'clock.
Okay, so then it'll be nice. Like we can take up the remaining questions and doubts that everyone has, and we can cover up the remaining skills.
Yeah, because what I felt that more than we discussing that question answer, like I saw Indra's question, and before Indra there was a nice question about somebody which I forgot. So I think it's a very important for a married life. that, we need to discuss this, so to help them, so that, so I really felt that question answer is more important than what we spoke.
Right. Yes, Matthew. So we can have the question answer, and we can also next time, if required, share your number also with
Sure,
everyone.
sure. We can do next
Thank
time only question answer if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
yes,
question
yes.
is, if they're interested, otherwise it's okay.
What about the remaining skills? Like, should we also?
Sorry?
Like you were saying, there are many more skills also.
Yeah, there are
to be
many
covered
more
up.
skills, Brajwalavi. But if we start with answering the questions, because I find that questions are very important. But
Right.
you all take a call what you'd like to do. If these people are going to personally ask this question and get the thing, then we can talk about more skill. There is no issue.
Okay, Matthew, we'll speak up.
So you all decide how it should be. Then
Yes, Matthew, I'll speak to you over the call.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Matthew. Thank you so much, Master Prabhu. It was such a
Thank
great
you
session.
very much. It's
So
been
wonderful.
wonderful for us also. So very inspiring. So thank you once again.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Danda Pranam. We thank everyone for joining in. Please join us next Sunday too for the continuation.